Hello, I'm Brandon Johnson, here at the historic Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. It's right here on these grounds and in these sound stages that so much Disney history has taken place over the years. History that has enchanted and captured the hearts and imaginations of people all over the world. You see, Walt believed that laughter and joy are timeless, that imagination is limitless, and dreams really can come true. After all, adults themselves are really just grown-up kids.
It impressed me that Walt Disney was there like every week. Drive down on Friday night, and then on Saturday morning, that was Walt's day, and he was playing the biggest kid in the world.
Since the very beginning, Walt wisely surrounded himself with lots of those grown-up kids who shared his vision for the future. So, let's meet the Disney legends. As Walt Disney himself once said, "You can dream, create, and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it requires people to make the dream a reality." And so throughout the years, he assembled a team of artists, engineers, performers, and dreamers who set about the business of creating a whole new world of magic and imagination that would forever change how we view art and technology. Together, Walt and his gang of grown-up kids changed entertainment history. Right at the heart of the Walt Disney Studios is this: Legends Plaza, dedicated on October 16, 1998 to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. On these walls, you'll find the names of honored artists, performers, producers, and pioneers both past and present. Among the past Disney Legend honorees are iconic artists such as Ub Iwerks, Mark Davis, Ollie Johnson, Ward Kimball, and Mary Blair. Brilliant visual artists. Unforgettable performers like Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, Kurt Russell, and actress Hayley Mills.
It did shape my life and my destiny.
And what would the stories be without music? There are songwriters honored here too, like Richard and Robert Sherman, Alan Menken, and Sir Elton John. Every 2 years, the Legends Committee comes together to consider a list of worthy names as they take on the difficult task of narrowing down a list of the next class of inductees. And trust me, this year's roster is amazing. Among the accomplished honorees being celebrated this year are media pioneers Steve Jobs and Dick Clark. Tonight, we will meet all of the new legends being honored at this year's D23 Expo when we come back. Our first Legends inductees are both comedy icons whose real names are instantly recognizable to fans all over the world. But despite wildly successful acting careers that span decades, to some, they are the pair of not-so-scary monsters, Mike and Sully. Both Billy Crystal and John Goodman have said that portraying this delightful duo in Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University was some of the most fun they've ever had as actors.
Mike Wazowski is my favorite character because he really, on his two little claws, stands for something. He's defiant, he's funny, he's charming, he's smart.
Crystal and Goodman have given their hilarious voices and amazing energy to characters in several other Disney films.
It makes you feel like you're doing something worthwhile.
John is extremely patient with me sometimes because Mike will just go.
What he thinks of patience is me not trying to laugh on Mike. I have to swallow my tongue and turn red. It's so funny.
The joy and laughter they have provided to countless Disney fans the world over will be remembered for generations to come. And that is why both Billy Crystal and John Goodman are Disney legends.
You know, to be in the company of all the great other artists in all different walks of entertainment is a great thrill.
Okay, what do creating thrilling new worlds of epic adventure and selling popcorn have in common? Our next inductee's career with Walt Disney lasted nearly 50 years, and in those 5 decades, he joyfully did both. Renowned Imagineer Tony Baxter ended up envisioning, designing, and creating many of the favorite Disney park attractions.
I was very lucky to apprentice under Claude Coates and go to Florida in my first year there, which his attraction was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And when I came back, that gave me kind of a new level of status. This person has actually been out there, and so I knew it was important to get busy. And busy for me turned out to be Big Thunder Mountain. I started building a little bit of a model for that. They liked it. We did a bigger model and a bigger model, and the next thing I knew, we were building my first attraction, which was Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Tony Baxter followed his dreams and turned his childhood love of all things Disney into a career that would forever change the face of the happiest place on earth. Using both his extraordinary imagination and all the amazing new technology available to him, Baxter took Walt Disney's original dream for Disneyland to a whole new level. And for that, he is a Disney legend.
A Disney legend is somebody who has probably spent a good amount of their time aspiring to at least the values that Walt Disney established in all the years that he led the company, and has found a way to interpret those values in a new direction.
Even now, we're thinking ahead and creating new attractions for months and years to come.
Meet more Disney legends when we return after this. Our next Disney legend was himself the child of a very famous and accomplished cartoonist.
I was born in just the right family. My dad is a cartoonist. He drew comic strip The Family Circus.
However, when he decided to attend Cal Arts, it was not to study cartooning or even animation. He wanted to become a sculptor and a painter.
I sent my portfolio to Cal Arts and to get into the School of Painting, and it was sent by accident to the School of Animation. And I thought, what? I don't know anything about animation. But when I got in there and I started flipping these drawings, and you saw these characters being able to move, that world just went away again. And I found that I could live in the skin of whatever it is I was animating, whoever it was, whether it was a beast or a mermaid or a Tarzan or anybody.
This instilled in him a confidence and a drive for what he wanted to create, and boy, did he ever create it.
I mean, Ariel designed her based on my own wife. Tarzan was my son surfing. I ripped my family off all the time.
For Glen Keane, art is personal, a part of who he is, who he was, and who he will forever be, a Disney legend.
The key to Disney animation that Eric Larson would say was, Glenn, the key to Disney animation is sincerity. And I think that that's what makes a Disney legend.
Ed Wynn started out as a vaudeville comic who knew from the very beginning of his career in both radio and television that his incomparable face and his unforgettable voice were his future.
This is astonishing! Simply astonishing!
Throughout the years, he made appearances in such treasured Disney films as Mary Poppins and Son of Flubber, and went on to deliver a classic performance as the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland.
I'll say it's rude. It's very, very rude indeed. Tea? Oh, I never thought of tea, of course. Tea. Sugar, 2 spoons, just 2 spoons, thank you, yes. Mustard, yes, but mustard? Don't let's be silly.
Generations of both children and grown-ups have marveled at the comic genius that was Ed Wynn. There has never been another like him. Before you can create a whole new world, you first have to see it. And that sight, that very first view of all that is possible, was for many years imagined and delivered up by Disney conceptual artist Colin Campbell. Walt Disney himself moved him from his studio work over to what would eventually become the Disney Imagineering Department. It was here that Campbell shined, creating completely original and breathtaking conceptual art for Disneyland's Main Street train station, City Hall, Splash Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Enchanted Tiki Room, and most famously, Haunted Mansion.
I think my relationship with Colin was particularly focused when we were working on Epcot. Colin would flip-flop back around and pick up things that he was particularly good at doing, and we also, kind of knowing what Colin can do, you'd say, ooh, I have something here that I think Colin would be really good at fleshing it out.
He was the guy who first saw all the possibilities inside his head and then translated those dreams to paper. And those amazing dreams, popping with color and imagination, are still every bit as magical today as they were when they were first imagined and created all those many years ago.
Well, Colin was really great with creating environment on paper. So, you know, you could do an architectural sketch or you could build a cardboard model, but what did it feel like emotionally to be in it? And so with his colors, Colin was more often than not called upon to do a three-dimensional vision of what it would be like to be in the place.
He eventually began doing background work on such classic animated Disney features as Lady and the Tramp and 101 Dalmatians. Because Colin Campbell first imagined it in his head, the rest of us get to see and share it forever. And for that, he will forever be a Disney legend. So that is our latest class of Disney Legend inductees. Those who, through their wisdom, vision, talent, and originality, will always be a large part of the dream that Walt Disney dreamed all those many years ago. The latest Disney Legends inductees and their families will be presented with their Legends Award at the D23 Expo this year, a biannual gathering in Anaheim, California that celebrates all the wonderful worlds of Disney. From treasured pieces of the past to the exciting present, with a thrilling look at what's to come. The D23 Expo features pavilions to explore, concerts of beloved music, sneak peeks at upcoming movies, games, and TV shows, and the chance to see and meet some of your favorite celebrities. Until next time, this is Brandon Johnson signing off from Legends Plaza, congratulating and welcoming all of this year's new Disney Legends.